Well, hello, one and all. Welcome to PlayFrame and to Pyre. And this moonlit grove clearing, I forget what it's called. We are through our second liberation rite. We've concluded our second season of rite sports. And we've had to say goodbye to another team member, which is quite sad, but we were going to have to say goodbye to somebody. And we'll probably have to continue doing that if we keep doing so well. What are you going to do? We'll do some reading in a bit. I'm sure we're going to unlock some more as we go. Let us bide our time. We've returned to a place of respite. Please make yourselves comfortable, such as you can. We are at the mercy of the stars, but I expect they shall shine bright again in time. As for me, I shall return by then, for there's something I must do. There, from atop the sacred mountain, you gaze down into the abyss that is the downside. You wonder when the stars shall align themselves once more. There, upon the sacred mountain, you and your companions once more await the night the stars begin to shine again. The plan of which you are all a part is set in motion. The Commonwealth, a nation that stood almost for 1,000 years, is in turmoil. If your companions return there through the liberation rites, what sort of place shall they be coming back to? Many moons pass. One evening, amid a downpour with no interest whatsoever in relenting, Volfred requests everyone to convene. You understand he has an announcement of some sort. Soon, everyone is assembled, and Volfred regards the group. Everyone, there's an aspect of our plan which I've not talked about with you at length. Look around at your companions. What do you see in them? He lets the question hang a moment in the air. I'll tell you what I see in all of you. In all of us. I see in all of us a living vision of the 8 scribes themselves, each one among them hailing from the different tribes which later formed our Commonwealth. My observation does not come from pompousness, I think. Rather, I believe the scribes themselves desired, or shall I say, desire such a course. Together they created all this ceremony of which we are now a part. The exiles liberated through their rites went on to found the Commonwealth based on their values and their teachings. Thus, an instrumental aspect of our plan is to embody the spirit and the culture from which the Commonwealth arose so many centuries ago. That way, when we are all united on the other side in solidarity, the people all shall see that we reflect the values they yet cherish in their hearts, not merely our own. Anyway, we are still missing one key representative on behalf of Molten Melith, and I happen to know a certain bog dweller who I think shall fit the part most splendidly indeed. Really. 4th of the 8 scribes of the Book of Rites, known as the Impassioned or the Wild Witch. The mistress of fire and dust claimed she could shatter the world with a flick of her wrist. We are lacking one of them. Are we getting Bertrude in on this? He motions for someone to approach. A certain bog dweller slithers forward. You recognize her straight away. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a dear old friend of mine, whom I believe you've met. Welcome to the Nightwings, Bertrude. The bog dweller called Big Bertrude utters something guttural by way of greeting. We are to understand that ye require further aid from us. Yes, dear Bertrude. The time has come. Bertrude here is far and away the most accomplished alchemist whom I've ever met. You soon will find that she knows much about the rites as well. Bertrude looks you and your fellow exiles, each in turn. We frighten ye. Apparent. Everyone is silent as Bertrude searches their expressions. Then tremble, small ones, and hold well thy tongues, lest we remove them. She takes her leave without another word. Please excuse Bertrude's blunt manner. I guarantee she shall more than make up for it. Everyone disperses. It seems now that the ranks of the Nightwings are complete. Bertrude joined the group. You sense her powerful presence. Welcome her aboard. Now then, my boy, perhaps you've noticed that the stars are bright once more up there beyond those stubborn rains, meaning it is time that we got back to business. Indeed, once more several stars shine bright within the cold and storming sky. The stars themselves await the will of the Nightwings. Let us choose our path toward salvation. Or try. Okay. 1 option, 2 option, 3 option. Can't remember off the top of my head which 3 locations we went in Season 2. If we go to Jomur the Dusk Star, we could challenge the Tempers there. Or we could go to Haub the Midnight Star and challenge the Accusers yet again. Or we could go to Gol the South Star and challenge the Pyre Hearts next. Hang on, let me go back and review. Let me go back and see which of the stars do we make stops at last time. Let's hit up other places just for the sake of filling out the book. Hang on. Okay, I have reviewed the tapes. Last season of Rights, our stops were Jomur, Milith, and Oris. So, let us not go to Jomur again. Let's go to one of these other ones. Let's see. We have played against the Accusers a second time. We have not played against the Pyre Hearts a second time. So, to Gol the South Star it is. Ah yes, the Pyre Hearts, now led by Sir Deluge, is it? They do their part within the rights, of that I can attest. But their new leader, he seems in over his head. You and Wulfred go over what you know of Sir Deluge's past, some of it from tales loudly told by one Sir Gilman. Sir Deluge, a worm knight of the Sea Dominion and former ally of Sir Gilman. He lacks the sort of courage for which his kind is known, yet somehow leads the Pyre Hearts anyway. Some worms born under the Sea Dominion's waters sought life's meaning on dry land. The Commonwealth recognized their chivalrous traditions and soon put them to use. Sir Deluge was just another bit of frontline fodder in the war against the High Wing remnants. Yet, time and again, he distinguished himself for one simple reason. He would not die. His unusual instinct for self-preservation kept him safe in many battles, and over time, he was repeatedly promoted for lack of any real competition. Then, in the Battle of the Spiral Sanctum, when retreat certainly was not an option, Sir Deluge retreated anyway. This was a breaking point, and he at last was sentenced into exile. In the downside, he sought water, where he made contact with Sir Gilman and other members of his kind. They all saluted him as their superior. The other knights had little choice but to respect his rank. As the Pyre Hearts, they conduct the rites in the name of their great hero, the Underking Oris, while adhering to their strict code. A coward of a knight, that one, and yet his silent comrades are no strangers to the rites. Now, let us take our leave, for it is late, and we need to be centered. You say goodnight to Wulfred, in turn. There's no time to make flight preparations now, though in the morning you will press on once again. Who's feeling chatty? I see. You don't look like you're feeling chatty. But, Bertrude's decks. Unusual etched cards depicting the Greater Titans. Probably for curses and enchantments. So, welcome to the team. You find Big Bertrude looking about the black wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. Such a clutter added to this wagon since we looked upon it last. Unsightly. We remember thee from our abode in Flagging Hands. Then thou must be the reading one to whom Sandalwood referred. She moves in close, studying you. You recall that the mere touch of a bog crone of the southern bogs can induce paralysis, or worse. The southern bogs being a distant region of the Commonwealth, left well alone despite technically being a part of the nation. The cold and forbidding marshlands are home to the bog dwellers of Sar, colloquially known as crones. That one such as thee can extract meaning from that tome. 'Twas a feat we wished to witness for ourselves. Thy flesh has seen but the smallest fraction of the years which ours withstood, and yet we are expected to believe that thou canst understand the Book of Rites. Then she backs away, for someone else has joined you. Hail, Bertrude, madam. Is everything to your liking at this time, or is there something more which you require? We've been unable to locate a supply of rotworm gizzard extract among thy belongings. Other than that, we shall lodge no complaint at present. It is possible that Wulfred has a small supply among his possessions here. If you would care to accompany me, we may yet procure some. That would be agreeable with us. Then after you, madam. As they depart, you think you see the lone minstrel nod his head your way. Thank you. Let us continue our journey. We've a new teammate. You rise early that morning, though Bertrude is already awake. She scowls at you. Good morning, reader. Bertrude, I trust your stay has been not too uncomfortable. Nay, Sandalwood. The comforts of this place are not for us. Fly us forth from here to lower ground. Let us get on with all of this. The reader here shall do so once the group is ready. I thank you for your patience. All right, off we go. I wonder if there are more little readables to be found. Do we have a new little crop of them? Oh, we do. Excellent. Come on, where are you? Soaring far above Sklorian shore, you notice Pamitha gazing down at the frozen cliffs below. Sklorian shore being a frozen oasis tucked between the chaos of Waking Wood and the sacred the Mount Elodil. A place to pause and reflect before a grueling mountain climb. That damned place down there. I like it least of all, I think, among everywhere we've been. I'm thankful that there's been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home is all. The high wing remnants. We all grew accustomed to the thinner air amid the cliffs that breaches the clouds above your commonwealth. But it was not the nicest place. Little wonder that my sisters settled for a rather warmer base of operations in this land, there by the nest of Trieste. Anyway, I'm pleased to have to spend as little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. Works for me. Unless I find something else to read, in which case, I will linger. Hey, what's the big idea, huh? Ah, it's you Nightwings. Come to rub it in, I guess. We Tempers. We've been trading flames with you who knows how long. So what, you got us once or twice lately. Matter of time before we go and get you back. So you might want to keep that in mind next time you go messing with these horns. Hear me? Now get out of my sky. It's big talk for someone who is in, like, lowest bracket possible last season. But okay. It's very soggy out here in general. Readables? Anything? Anything? Just gotta check is all. Here's one. Bertrude slithers up to you as the black wagon passes through the skies above her former abode. Our kind who lurk below. They would scarce believe we soar above them now. We told them when Sandalwood came to fetch us that we shall not return for some time. Our most accomplished laborers, with whom we shared so many moons in exile. We trust that they shall carry forth the reputation of our services, for we taught them all we know. She seems almost nostalgic as she lists off the various services provided at Big Bertrude's. Curses, balms, potions, powders, cleaning reagents, sleep medicines, fungicides, seances. Big Bertrude's earned quite a name for itself throughout the downside, for these and other things. When we are finished here, provided we do not return from whence we came, we shall return to our establishment and carry on our business there, for there's much demand. Glad you're opening up a little. Or at least being nice. Oh, there's a thing. Yonder lies the Ridge of Gull, somewhat less imposing when viewed from this vantage point. Do you not agree, reader? The myths of the downside hold that it is no mere ridge of stone, but the remains of Lord Gandroth, once slain by Gol Golathanian himself. Who's this? Lord Gandroth the Serpent Titan, vanquished by the scribe Gol Golathanian. He brandished his tower shield and sent Gandroth's fury back into his countenance. Though perhaps such tales are of little import now, when you stand to confront the Pyre hearts there in just a short while. That is true. 2 places we can land, seems like. Just a check-in. Okay. Hollow Root, the choice of Tizo, who seems enthusiastic about this prospect, or Blooming Pool, chosen by Rookie. You sense that Rookie may gain a deeper understanding of the rites along this route. I feel like last time if I'd had the choice, I think Rookie is who I'd have sent up, given his desire for that. And unless he changes his mind sometime this season, I feel like that's what I want to try prioritizing again. And I still don't entirely know the mechanics of who is eligible for Ascension. But my best guess thus far is it's the ones who are leading in experience, basically. And so we need to get Rookie amongst that top 3 as best we can. You make a successful landing in Downside Prairie, near the southern edge of the Downside. Memories of having first met Hedwyn, Jadariel, and Rookie come flooding back. You now should have some time in the vicinity before continuing onward toward the Ridge of Gold by land. Excellent. Who wants to talk? Ah, okay. What's this? A Downside Clinger. Yields fruit from time to time, though only if one says the magic word. We're getting a lot of keepsakes in here. Fulfrid is poring over a copy of the Book of Rights as you approach. He looks up at you and smiles. The Road to Freedom, written in a book that hardly anyone believes exists, and fewer still can read or comprehend. Sometimes I marvel how absurd all of this is, my boy. Tell me something, though. I've spent so much time considering the book, but known so few with whom I could discuss it in much detail. You've had some time to turn through it by now, so what do you think? Worth all the fuss? Fulfrid wants to know your thoughts about the Book of Rights. You find it fascinating? You've come across more than your fair share of books, but none quite like this. You find it tedious. It's an archaic volume dense with lore you are not concerned with at this point. You've only skimmed it. You would rather reserve judgment until you have had more reading time. Or you cannot say. The Book of Rights is meant to be experienced and can't be described. I, for one, am finding it fascinating. You tell Fulfrid the book has fascinated you, and that you've never seen anything quite like it. He nods slowly as you describe your experience with it. I share the sentiment. To have in our possession a genuine artifact from a forgotten time. How much of it is exactly true, and how much of it is the scribe's retelling of events? I find it endlessly fascinating to consider, I must admit. He puts away his copy of the book with care. It is amazing that these volumes have survived for all this time, I think. Whatever they are made of has withstood the ravaging effects of time quite well. And the ideas there contained, they remain rather provocative as well. To think that the Commonwealth disavows of the existence of this book, despite official recognition of the 8 scribes. Although the reasons why are in there written plain. How fascinating that its secrets have been kept for all this time. Anyway, you will have to excuse me for my extracurricular interests in its teachings. I used to teach a version of its history. To have access to the real thing has brought me some small pleasure. Let us be certain to preserve these volumes for whomever shall be next to use them. He turns his attention to other matters and bids you a good afternoon. Let's go a little further, get a few more pages before we do our reading for the day. Having reached the blooming pool, you decide to accompany Rookie for a walk among the rolling hills. Your conversation soon turns to matters of the rights, which you discuss at length. I think you just made my brain grow a size or two there, chum. By the time you return to the wagon, you sense he gained a deeper understanding of it all. He has gained enlightenment. Good. We need this. We've gained quite a lot, in fact. Well done. Not far from rank 4. Well, onward our journey continues. But to where? Oh, to here, it turns out. One of the Downside's celestial landmarks, the Ridge of Gold. We are to conduct the rites here soon against Sir Deluge and the Pyre Hearts. Fingers crossed. Let us shop, and then read, and then commence the rite. Hey guys, say, what are you guys doing all the way back here? You know, it's not so bad here, I was thinking. I got some pretty good stuff. I think you ought to check it out. We're still so not rich. I guess we could sell stuff off, but really, why? Yeah, I kind of like hanging on to my talismans. Yeah. Nothing for me this time, thank you. They didn't buy nothing, Dad. Sorry. I don't have money. Who wants to talk? Rookie. Good. Rookie is counting the group's supply of soul when he sees you approach. He rushes right up to you as per his custom. Hey, chum. I was just seeing what we could pick up from the slug market next chance we get. Been running some numbers here, and by my count, we've made old Falcon Ron richer by 262 souls so far, if you can believe that. He's probably doing pretty well these days, just thanks to us. But I figure we got a decent arrangement going. Hoarding soul ain't gonna do us any good down here, and Ron's merchandise can help us get ahead. Those talismans are weird, right? But they seem to work. Especially if you heap some of that stardust stuff onto them, right? Stardust being that substance of celestial origin used to enhance a talisman's effects. The stars themselves are the instigators of the rites. Say, you don't think it's cheating using that stuff, do you, chum? He does not give you the opportunity to answer. So anyways, that Ron and I, we go way back, all right. Like you don't even know. He and I, well, technically, we knew each other even back before I ended up down here. He was one of my importers, so to speak. Yeah, he and I, we had a good thing going for a while. Sent all sorts of junk downriver to him, and back in the Commonwealth, the soul was still worth something to some folk. One day, of course, the jig was up for me, you understand. So imagine his surprise when I ran into him right here on his home turf. You make an effort to imagine Falcon Ron's surprise. Yeah, fine. So Ron didn't shed no tears about me getting thrown down. When I first met him face to face, he just says, "Oh, hey, Mr. Greentail," like he's expecting me or something. Though he did seem pretty miffed at losing me as a supplier. But he got me as a customer. Believe you me, his prices would be 10 times worse if not for Rookie Greentail's premier loyalty discount taken off the top. Just whatever you do, don't go around asking questions about him. Believe you me, the less we know about our good chum Falcon Ron, the better. Anyways, I'm off to chase my tail for a bit, so be seeing you around, chum. Thanks for the advice, Rookie. He bounds off, out of the wagon. Well, we're due for some reading. Let's see. Maybe the page that it opens to instantly is the first new page, though, because, like, this time it didn't drop us in Chapter 1, it brought us here. And we didn't get the, like, screen pop-on effect that happens with a new page, but hard to interpret. Whatever, just in case. The Downside Prairie, in the words of Molten Melith. The Downside is connected to our realm via a single artery, the river named for our prestigious sap colleague, BlueSky. That river gushes into seeming nothingness. That seeming nothingness turns out, of course, to be the Downside. Its existence undermines thousands of years of thought about the composition of our world. The Downside's southern edge we call the Sandfolds. It is a desecrated wasteland speaking well to this land's lack of hospitality. Here, the strength of many who survive the river journey finally fails. If only they could clamber further north, where lies the verdant Downside Prairie. A better place to perish, to be sure. But also... the Ridge of Goal, or Soul? Wait, which one? The Ridge of Goal. In the words of BlueSky. The serpent titan Gandroth turned to brittle stone not long after his death. Of that you may be certain. What remains is a flat, elevated basin that stands us closer to the heavens. Upon the fallen Gandroth's hide, the stars themselves alight, and you shall know you stand on sacred ground. We set the metal sigils, lit the candle flames, and we emblazoned on the rock-like forms the sigil of our passage to and from this land. And then the stars themselves, they did reply to us. They sang, shining bright, their voices loud and clear. We understood their cadence, and we knew how often to return. But also... Nope. I say, but also... rites of flame. In the words of Solium Mur. With these blackened nails do I hereby inscribe the rites of flame. The bylaws shall be written here in full. We, the Eight, decree the rites attest of one's true worth in body, mind, and spirit. Now, until the stars abandon us, this shall be binding law within the Downside. Those deemed worthy in the rites are to regain their freedom from the Downside and return from whence they came. Exiles shall conduct the rites as one of 9 triumvirates and look toward the stars for guidance on their path. Exiles shall bear this book as status. Oh, there's another one up here. The Fall of Solium. From the top of Mount Alodil, the downside may be seen in its entirety, or at least felt, since so much of the land is shrouded. But that is hardly all. Through a wondrous miracle, there lies upon this highest mountain an inverted fall, whose waters crush not toward the sea, but rush toward the heavens. We speculate these are the very waters which delivered us, but now bent backward, seeking their return, as do we all. In this phenomenon can freedom be achieved, but only for the chosen when the time is right. This is a path to freedom we cannot traverse, but shall leave open for you, so that you may strive for it. It's just a very compelling fantasy fiction they've created. Essential structure. The essential structure of a rite shall be as follows. Where chosen by the stars within the dark of night, shall two triumvirates stand in opposition, far enough afield beside their consecrated pyres, symbolizing their resolve. In each triumvirate the three shall act as one, to demonstrate their trust in one another, not just in themselves. Triumvirates shall endeavor to extinguish the pyre of their adversary, whose flames are only to be staunched through a celestial orb descended from the stars. Whosoever pyre remains burning shall prevail. The triumvirates are to disperse. And also, the Fate. The Fate united under Manymane the Alpha Chief. He's brash, but follows his traditions. He prizes faith, discipline, and honor, qualities he seems to lack at first. He formed the Fate under the precepts of olden bylaws of his four-legged ancestors. They believe in a certain natural order in the way of things. Manymane wanted for the Fate to likewise show respect. Initially, he only chose from other curs. He, however, urged the Fate to replenish their numbers from any race or ethnic group thus willing. Thus shall they anticipate what is to come, with open eyes and minds, and never frown upon what is in store for them. Goodness, lots of reading this time. Searching the Stars. We, the Eight, have seen the turning of the stars from now until the ending of our age. Heed their guidance and ours. The stars take many cyclic turns. The rites commence at their behest, upon celestial landmarks where the downside's greater titans fell before the heavens. Bearing this, the book bestowed on your triumvirate, you, the reader, shall perceive under which stars you are to congregate. Follow where they lead, as your adversaries shall. If either of you fails to appear, then neither of you walks the path. Whether you prevail or you fail, from that point the stars shall guide you on. And also, on mercy. Mercy is the beating heart of a truly free society. Mercy even for the perpetrators of the darkest deeds. As our liege Solium Mur drifted in an ocean of regret, he found there mercy, or rather, it found him, and it saved his life. Mercy, freedom, they are intertwined. A society which raises a clenched fist against its own shall follow the doomed path of the Empire of Sar. Ours shall be a merciful society. May the perpetrators of the darkest deeds be sent to join us here, where they may learn, as we have. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind. We shall stand shoulder to shoulder, equals in the same society. And also, before each rite. The rite shall not commence unless the necessary preparations are complete at a celestial landmark, ere the stars align. Exiles shall conduct the rites bearing this book, of which there are but 40 copies, each bound in astral hide. Exiles shall wear the sacred raiments fashioned in our likeness at the summit of Mount Alodil. Their identities are to be concealed, for they shall represent us all. Exiles shall set a metal sigil for their pyre, and consecrate the grounds using the words, "The 8 scribes gave their freedom, so that we may yet have ours." The heavens shall respond when all is set. I feel like we've just gotten a lot in this particular chapter unlocked. The Law of 3. During the rite, each triumvirate shall act as one, unerringly and without question. The disobedient shall suffer banishment or permanent expulsion. Exiles shall move as of a single mind to demonstrate their faith and recognize that they, as we, the 8, cannot prevail alone. Their worth shall be determined both by their actions and their peers. Triumvirates lacking experience in this may designate a reader, whose focus on this book may help the others to coordinate. However, only those who shall conduct the rites firsthand shall walk the path toward enlightenment and become eligible to regain their freedom. We got a lot of pages in this chapter. The Burning Pyre. At the appointed time, at the aligning of the stars, the heavens shall rain down upon the ground sufficiently prepared, and thus the two opposing pyres shall be set ablaze. Thus shall commence the rite. Triumvirates are to protect their pyres as they would their lifeblood. Lifeblood itself is never to be shed, before, during, or after any rite, lest the disobeyers suffer permanent expulsion. Exile is injury enough. The rite is an act of mercy. Fear not the purifying flame. Plunge into it headlong and without fear, for you shall be protected by the stars themselves. Seek freedom in the flame. There's probably more pages. I'm going to save more of this chapter for next reading. There's a lot of reading. Also, I want to check and see, just to remind myself, how do we unlock more in each chapter? So, this one seems to just sort of happen. Chapter 1. Chapter 2 requires us spending... Okay, I misunderstood previously. I thought we needed to buy the pages specifically, but no, we need to just spend money there. And to do that, I also need to just make more money, so this is good work to do. Return to different regions to reveal more pages. Visit the celestial landmarks to reveal more pages. Prevail under the Titan stars to reveal more pages. I think this one they just kind of gave to us. Prevail over your adversaries to reveal more pages, and conduct liberation rites to reveal more pages. Okay. More of that later. Let's go. Commence the rite. Once more you have returned to the Ridge of Gull, and your companions stand ready beneath a still night sky, awaiting the commencement of the rites. You overhear some of their words to one another as you await the signal in the stars. Tizo remembers having faced the Pyre Hearts many times before. Perhaps they shall bring new strategies to bear this night. Just then, you observe a glint of starlight that begins to shine above, and your companions soon fall silent. Oh, we've got a new one, too. Let's see. Unfathomed Plurness. Your adversaries each shall have +8 quickness. Oof, boy, that's tough. It's kind of hard to know what more cunning means. I'm guessing this means that, like, their AI is improved. That they play smarter. More hope. They return from banishment faster. My pyre shall automatically suffer 30 damage. Or our adversaries shall gain 30. Let's play risky. Again, let's start a little weaker. Oh, I had this, I just had left this on, even through the, even through the, championship last time. I'd not realized I'd left it active. Silly me. Well, we'll keep it going. Them being faster is a frightening thought. Let's just stick with that for now, I think. Yeah, especially since I don't know what new curveballs I get to deal with this season. Let's go.
The much-vaunted reader has returned, and it would appear his ranks grow stronger.
Or at least larger.
Consorting with the bog-crone Bertrude, are we?
Consorting's a strong word.
How very strange that you befriended her.
Befriended is also a strong word.
Your adversaries in this rite shall be the Pyre Hearts. Put out their flame and walk the path to liberty.
Boy, we shall try.
Oh no, the Nightwings!
He struggles with his mask for some time.
Please, have mercy on this knight, O Nightwings, for this knight knows well of the limitless power with which you most certainly possess.
Then he squirms into his mask.
Limitless power can only be the explanation as to how you freed that no-good Gilman. How, this knight must know. How could such a thing be even possible? inheriting the loudest, clumsiest, ugliest, most obnoxious, least competent worm ever to sully the ranks of the Pyre Hearts, and seeing him to such a victory. Would that this knight could kneel, for he would kneel before your stupefying power.
By the end of the speech, you sense Sir Deluge is not entirely sincere. Even now you hear him snickering nervously with his triumvirate. It seems news of Sir Gilman's liberation has caused quite a stir within the ranks of the Pyre Hearts. Even still, they stand together, ready for the right.
Liberatus.
Hold a moment, reader. The crone Bertrude slithers forth, wearing the raiments of the rights. Now that Bertrude is among our ranks, it would be best if you became familiar with her repertoire. You have no obligation to make use of her abilities, of course. Good Bertrude, please show the reader something of your aptitude.
We expect thou shalt be soon inclined to bring our sorceries to bear. Long have we studied these rites of thine. Let us show thee what we know of them thus far.
The
Press
poor
X to
crone
pounce.
Bertrude shows herself in full.
Okay.
Though I have to wonder what became of her accomplices. Of one accomplice in particular. You watch yourself around her, reader. None are sentenced into exile without sufficient cause.
I didn't ask for your input voice, thank you. All right, so we can do a pounce. We can do a slither, which is pretty speedy. Hold B to blast. Oh, spread attack. Right, I remember having to deal with this from others. Release B while flashing to power blast. Tricky timing. Press Y to proceed. Pretty solid kit, seems like.
Now then, reading one, know that our freedom is of little consequence to us. We side with ye because of Sandalwood, because of his plan. We shall aid ye in the rights, and we shall aid ye in that plan. Thus, we are at thy disposal, and await thy bidding.
Thank you.
Now let us begin.
Roster bio updated. Ooh. Well, you're starting just under rank 2, and you have a lot of catching up to do, so yeah, we're definitely getting you in here. And also, we need to get you a talisman of some sort. A lot of your abilities seem to be about banishing others, so it might be that I give you this lucrative contract one. Yeah. Yep, that's my thinking. There you go.
Bertrude.
Who else? Well, Rookie, because more enlightenment for you. High priority.
Rookie.
And who else is furthest behind? Tizo, you're in.
Tizo. It is done.
We got this, people. We are not afraid of you, especially not this night. Worm Knight, attack!
Well, here goes.
Begin.
Gotcha. Sort of. Well, maybe I was the one more got. Kind of hard to tell. Boing.
The Nightwings are the first to strike.
Good work, Rookie.
Twas dangerously
Gotcha.
close.
Fly. Boom.
The sacred law.
Kind of feels like a lot of our team, at least Tizo and Bertrude, are very offense focused. No, I keep on hitting character switch instead of pounce.
The Nightwings seem to be falling behind.
Yeah, we really do. Wow. Sloppy. They are quick though. Gotta be ready for such quickness. Ha ha. Slither. Boom.
Another most inglorious defeat is imminent. This knight can feel it in his bone.
At least you see it coming. Ah, I can't believe that didn't get you in time. We're falling behind, though. Not great. Nope.
Someone there rose to the occasion.
See ya. Oh, dear. Nah. Gotcha. Also got you.
Stand not in glory's path.
Move it, rookie. Oh, that was so close. We almost got there. Come here. I can't believe you snuck through there. Not great. No.
Take it.
Boom.
Solim.
Oh boy. It's gonna be close.
Now go on, just once more.
Fly. No. Dropped it. No.
It is done.
We lose our first loss.
The Pyre hearts prevail.
They're going to be insufferable about
Scribes
this.
showed them a bit of favor in the end. Perhaps your fortune shall be better next time.
We'll find out. You and the Nightwings may have experienced your first defeat, but this is not the end. Rather, this is an opportunity for you and your fellow exiles to press onward. Bertrude, for example, learned a valuable lesson this night. A rush of enlightenment gained from surviving a tough situation, awarded only this one time. Through failure do we tend to learn the most valued of lessons, provided we survive. So too has Bertrude, not in spite of this setback with the Pyre Hearts, but because of it. And Rookie is no exception. He has gained more insight here as well. Your fellow exiles all shall gain enlightenment and learn and grow from what has transpired. And your story shall continue. The choice of whether to accept such outcomes, now and all throughout your quest, is to be yours alone.
We've prevailed? But how? Wait, where'd everybody go? Our performance doth leave much to be desired.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes.
But we have all learned a good bit, though.
Great understanding within Rookie.
You know, with all this rights business, there's been this one real fancy move that I've been mulling for a while, and I think I just finally got how I could pull it off.
All right. Rookie can jump a second or third time while airborne. Seems pretty bonkers. Yep. Gotta grab that. Everyone getting a little bump.
The ancient crone called Bertrude opened up her eyes.
Thus does our grasp of ancient sorceries grow ever stronger still.
Okay, well, we've not seen your whole tree yet. Let's have a look. Passions of the Wild Witch. Rights masteries enhancing a crone's ability to recover against all odds. Molten Melith's dour disposition belied her unyielding determination to gain mastery in all things. While Bertrude's Pyre has less health than the adversaries, she deals an additional damage to theirs. Cool. Bertrude's Aura Blast arcs at a wide angle, banishing adversaries in a larger area. The charge-up time before Bertrude can use her Aura Blast is greatly reduced. And while Bertrude's Pyre has less health than the adversaries, her adversaries deal less damage to her Pyre. Okay, cool. That is pretty cool. I do like that tree, but... Sorceries of the Southern Bogs. Rights masteries enhancing a crone's ability to press her advantage. Those who withstood Melith's teachings found they long kept prodding at the edges of their understanding. While Bertrude's Pyre has more health than the adversaries, she deals an additional 5. Isn't it the same? She deals an additional 5. Oh, okay, so this is while we're in the lead, where she does even more damage. This is if we're behind. I see. After Bertrude pounces at an adversary, she instantly recovers all stamina. While slithering, Bertrude uses less stamina and moves way faster. Or, once per right, after saluting adversaries, Bertrude turns them into fast-moving howlers. Much as I would love for her to be even faster, I kind of like this more defensive angle. Let's go with that.
the secrets of the Wild Witch revealed. Until the stars align.
Not bad lasting this long without a loss. After suffering defeat by the Pyre Hearts just barely, you return to the wagon to find Wulfred and the lone minstrel in the midst of conversation. Most strange that this one star should be illuminated now. This is not what I expected. Nor I, Wulfred, sir. Then Wulfred notices you there. Reader, Tariq and I observed a strange occurrence in the sky is all. It appears that the star of Kaelmer Ropecollar is illuminated now. It is but another star, except our models and predictions of the cosmos did not anticipate this. Kaelmer Ropecollar. The first exiles came to these lands not by force, but by heeding the Ropecollar's deceptions. The traitorous former aide to the Emperor. His actions inadvertently led the 8 scribes to find each other. Anyway, go see for yourself. I shall make the wagon ready in the meantime. You see only a single shining star illuminated far above. It is just as Wulfred indicated. You regard the looming star. Let us discern where it leads? This is quite different. Just the one option this time. Well, when we return next time, it's off to Kaelmer the Rogue Star. May we fare better than we did this match. Fingers crossed. See you all next time to find out. Bye!